Live on a Saturday night. Saturday night in Bangkok. And it's still hot. It's Saturday night and it's hot. It's so hot. You really don't know how hot it is until you've been here. And for some reason, Bangkok heat is it just seems hotter. It's like Florida heat. We got the air conditioner cranked at full, and it's still not enough to keep us cool here. Oh man, I'm sweating, you see? Breaking a sweat here. So, let's give it a minute here. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on here in Thailand. In the news and otherwise. Like I said, it's hot, very hot. High today was 98 degrees, humidity 71, and the air quality is actually moderate right now. It is 90, so it's actually passable. So anyway, I decided to stream tonight because I never stream at night, and I figure maybe some other people would come into the stream from other parts of the world instead of just from the United States and here in Thailand. Yeah, so depending on how this goes, and maybe one or two more streams at night goes, I'll figure out exactly what I want to do. I gotta see something here. It looks like the. Anyway, it doesn't seem to help. Well, glad you can join us. Jim, how you doing? What's happening? Good evening. This is what I got right now. A water full of ice. Because even with the air on, this place is just brutally hot. Anyway, anyhow. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First, and the big news right now is what's going on with this woman. What is her name here? The woman who is the Thai serial killer. And on this one, I'm not really talking anything about her, but I don't know if anybody's heard, but this lady's name is Sararat, or and they haven't given her family name. But right now, the police are looking at her bank accounts because up to 20 people transferred cash into her bank account before they died under suspicious circumstances. And this is a woman, she used cyanide on them. And as many as 20 people, she killed as many as 20 people. And basically, she's like a black widow. She took the money and then they died, and then that was the end of it, and she figured she'd just go on her merry way. It says, one survived poisoning by the highly lethal toxin. She was arrested last Tuesday. She's not going anywhere. They're not going to let her out. She's history. That's what I'll say. She's history from everything that they're saying here. She's supposedly mentally ill. There's some debate about how mentally ill she is, but That's the big news here in Thailand right now, and you know, it's not the happy kind of news. And this is the kind of thing that seems to be happening more and more. Um, all these shootings, mass shootings, and it's gotten to the point where, uh, yeah, it's just this is something's going on here. Something's going on here. No, they weren't. They weren't foreigners that she killed. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, really, it doesn't really matter who she killed. It wasn't directed at foreigners because she wanted to get back at them for some reason or something like that. Um, that's about the only case it would really matter. Wow. It says we have a strong case and enough evidence against the suspect, said Police Colonel Anek Tau Supap. Wow. Yeah, that that's about the gist of it. Pretty freaking sad, but that's what's going on here as far as the big news. And other than that, there's the country is preparing for the elections. There's little minivans driving around with people and their bullhorns trying to get people to vote for them. Let's see what else here. Oh, Conan O'Brien is in Thailand. Like, that's really newsworthy. I mean, no offense to him, but who cares? He tried Muay Thai. Oh, that's nice. He tried a scorpion. Anyway, let me see something here. I'm curious to know where people are from. You got Australia. I know Jim is in Thailand. I don't know where Pebble Dashing is. And I don't know where Luke is. And I don't know where INFP with Tom. Since it's nighttime, get you a frosty one. Well, thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate that very much. That's my frosty one. Frosty ice inside of water. Because I am on the whole, exercise and fitness kick. So I'm trying not to drink. And I don't drink much, but, a frosty one actually doesn't sound too bad, but I don't have any here. U.S., Florida. Oh, well, okay, so, this time right now it's early morning. It's early morning. Yeah, early Saturday morning in the States. Brooklyn, okay. Nice Muay Thai short. Oh, want me kicking? That's not really. That pad is not all that hard. It's not like a Muay Thai pad, like a Thai boxing pad. Those are harder, but yeah, that my shins don't even. I don't even. That's. It's not even a thought. I don't even think about that, especially for that particular leg. 11:30 p.m. Yeah, that's the thing. You're in Oz, so for you it's late. It seems like most of the Aussies follow me in the morning, but for obvious reasons. Uh, Although some people like to watch at night. Some people like to sit back and get drunk and get smashed and drink at night. Got a bottle of tequila back there. So, and as far as the story of the day for me goes, my wife said, I'm going to yoga today. And I said, I don't feel like lifting today because I lifted the last 4 out of 5 days, and my hands need a break, my wrists need a break. But yoga sounds really good. I'll stretch out. And we get there, and yoga's not today. Yoga is tomorrow. But today, they were having a core exercise class. And the whole time, all we did was work on our abs. So her abs are sore, my abs are sore. Um, I'm sore all over, but that's okay. It's a good thing. I just got back from Thailand yesterday for a month. Saw blue sky about once in Phuket. Yeah, well, it is the rainy season right now. Jim Chokdi to you. 6:30 West Coast. Is it 6:30? Yeah, 6:30 West Coast right now. 9:30 East Coast. And I only have, let's see here. What do we have? We got about 30 days. 30 days until we leave, something like that. We don't have much. We don't have very long. We're out of here. And my kid was asking me, I don't know where we're going. You tell me where we're going. I need to know where we're going. I just want to know where we're going and when we're going to be there. And so I gave him the whole list of places where we're going. And then I looked at it and I went, that's some trip. We have never taken a trip together like this. I can tell you that. How many stops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stops. So, it's a hell of a trip. Anyway, so this woman, I don't know what was the motivation besides money, but like I said, this is something, and I'm looking at it. It's bad that all these people died, of course, but what is disturbing is that, to me, is that I hear more and more and more stories about people doing things like this here in Thailand, and if they're given help, it's not enough, or it's not the right help, or they just disappear from the system, and then they don't they're left out to flail in the wind. And this is becoming more and more regular, these kind of incidences. So she was hospitalized for anxiety and amnesia many years ago. She was given medication for a mood disorder and not mental illness, according to the source, which I don't know exactly what the differences are. But, yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Anytime there's a serial killer here, that's a big deal. Anytime there's a mass shooting, that's a big deal. And what's an even bigger deal is that it seems to be happening more regularly. So, anyway, not to bum out everybody for the night, but there's much to enjoy with May 2023's festivals and events. There are a lot of festivals in Thailand. If you've been here before, there are festivals all the time. Let's see here. The lineup includes Northeast famous Rocket Festival, the Boom Boom Phi. I always get that mixed up. And then there's the Vichit Light and Sound Show nationwide, the Samui Regatta, Panga and Rochbury Triathlons, music festivals, and more. The month of May boasts an exciting lineup of festivals and events in Thailand, including local cultural celebrations, extravagant light and sound shows in all 5 regions, music festivals, a street art showcase, Muay Thai World Championship fighting, triathlons, and a sailing regatta. Okay, so that sounds great. Um, the Rocket Festival is this month, and you know, I don't know. I'd bring my kid there. I did say triathlon. I bet this has been going on all along. Just more media access nowadays. Well, I think they probably get better care now than they've ever gotten before, but I still think that it's lacking. Yes, I did say triathlon. Actually, I think it's multiple triathlons. And if you do a triathlon, generally you must be pretty damn fit, and you don't feel the heat quite as much. Although 40 degrees Celsius is pretty damn hot. Hang on. Let me just one thing at a time here. Is there a Thailand Festival website? Well, it's not about Thailand, although Thailand, um, professional as long as she managed to get away with it. Wait a minute, let me slow down here. Okay. It depends on where you are. Yasotin is May 17 through 21. Roy Et is May 27 to the 4th of June. Kalasin Bun Bum Phai Talai Land Festival is May 20th and 21st. Kon Kan is the 27th and 28th of May. Sisaket is 27th and 28th of May. Kalasin is 27th and 28th of May. This is a little bit different. This is the Bung Phai Prewa Festival, which, yeah, I'm gonna say that's. Let me see here. Yeah, they're at different locations. So that's when the Rocket Festival goes on. But I mean, I know people that have gone to multiple rocket festivals, but I don't personally want to go because I don't trust the people who are setting off the rockets. You know, I mean, really, I just don't. And it says this year, in addition to launching 50 Bung Phai Talai San 120 kilogram rockets and two Bang Phai Thailand 1,200 kilo rockets. Uh, Other celebrations include colorful rocket processions of floats and folk dancing, a merit making ceremony, and activities showcasing the tradition of the ethnic Puthai Kutwa people. Um, I'm not saying don't go to it by any means. For me, I'm going to pass. Um, I've been there and done that, and I don't, like I said, I don't trust them. I don't know what, you know. Is it, was it Yasotin? I don't remember. That is the big one. Um, I'm looking at this other thing right now. Let's see here. Let me see here. I thought it was Roy Et that was the big one, but let me see here. Mm. Yeah, I always thought it was Roy Et. Let me see here. History. Here we go. Hails from Laos. Okay. Okay, it says villages no longer stage Bunbang Phai festivals on the scale of Yasatun's famous event. Okay, I always thought, for some reason, I thought it was Roy Et was the big one, but I guess not. Well, Roy Et's festival is a tradition. Is traditional of Isan and Laotian culture that could be found this festival that could be found this festival. They didn't write it throughout a country where living place of northern Thai people. Let's see here. Roy Ed is known. Today, the beautiful Bang Phai. Wait a minute here. And the most number of rockets in the world are located in Roy Ed. But the most famous one is the Yasatun. So that's what it was. I'm asking the wife permission to put my life in danger now. I don't know why you do that. Expat in Portugal from Sweden. Yeah. Well, I'll be an expat in Portugal for a couple of days. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, good on you if you want to go. It's different. It's a festival. You can always have a good time. It gives you a good reason to go out and party. Um, you know. Well, this is the thing, and uh, it happens all around the world where they have these kind of festivals, these rocket festivals. I mean, I used to have a little rocket when I was a kid. I mean, it was the size of maybe this water bottle, and that thing was dangerous. You could take it could take a finger or a hand off, or do some damage at least. So I don't know why they are 1,200. What is it? 1,200 kilograms. That's a lot of gunpowder in there. That's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. I mean, whatever. Probably nothing's gonna happen, so it's worth going to, but not for me. I'm not gonna go there just to watch a couple rockets go off. But that is something to do. And let me see something here, because um, I think it's the Thai Tourism Authority that has the list of the best list, one of the best lists of festivals. But here's another one right here. Let me see here. Yeah, here's the festival. Oh, this is April. Let me see if I can do this. Yiping, Songkran, Pitakon, Bunbang Phai. Yeah, it is Yasatron. Surin Elephant Festival, Wing Kwai, which is the water buffalo racing. All right, it seems like it's got some good festivals on here. But there used to be one that I used to follow that had places from all around the world. What the hell was it called? Bedbug or. No, that wasn't one of those. Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is now. It's been so long since I've looked for it. I don't remember off the top of my head. But there used to be a site that you could actually, what you would do is you would pick like adventure, and it would give you a list of countries around the world. It would have some filters, and you could pick the country or the region that you wanted, and then it would give you different different options. You would say, I want to go when it's the rainy season, or I want something that's not expensive, or like I said, an adventure, or uh, whatever it might be that you want. Temples, and then it would give you that. But I just don't remember the name of it. It's been years since I've looked at it, but it was pretty good at the time. But anyway, I'm so hesitant. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so hesitant to say that I'd want to move there. First of all, I've never been there, so this is my first trip, and I don't think that one trip is enough to say, hey, I'm going to pick up and move and go, you know, move there permanently with the family or something. I don't, I have a hard time believing that. However, it is much closer to my family in the States, and, we're there's a chance that maybe my wife can get citizenship there, but that takes time in the country, and so it might be good to be there. I don't know, and I need to see the place. But just the whole act of moving everything, and then the thing is that I'm so comfortable here, and everybody else, this is where they've grown up. My wife, my kids, and I'm very comfortable here because I've almost been here. Now it's almost half my life. So to say, oh well, let's just go and move there, there's got to be some motivating factors. It's got to be worth it financially. We need to see the potential, but I know that there are some laws in place that um, actually, I like the way that the Ecuadorian government seems to treat foreigners there as opposed to here. Not that I think that the Thai government treats foreigners really poorly, but I don't think they treat them great. There's not real a lot of incentive other than, hey, guess what? You get to stay here. You can't buy land. You can't. There's so many things that you can't do. So when you see other countries that are offering these things and they don't make a big deal about it, you know. But this is how Thailand has always been. So being comfortable in your home base is really important. Then branching out from there, good. You want to check it out, yeah. Well, it's not only for that. It's also because I haven't seen my buddy in years, and he's actually one of the guys who turned me on to this place when I originally came. That him and the Thai guy who was training me at the time many years ago, and you know I haven't seen him in I don't know how many years now, but a long time. Um, so let's see. Being comfortable in your home base is really important. Branching out. Yeah, I know. One of the things. I mean, I was just thinking to myself. I've been going to the gym pretty regularly. I've been going uh, at least 2 out of 3 days. I'll go 2 days, take a day off. 2 days, take a day off. And some days, 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. Then take a day off. Um, but just going back and forth to the gym today, I thought, I love how convenient this is. And it's close enough to where it's very convenient, but yet it's far enough away to where you have to go do it. You have to commit to it still. And so I like that versus, like just working out at home or whatever. But what I was thinking is just how, it's basically trouble free here. Um, it's very mellow. You don't have many problems here. You don't have, I don't have to really worry about people coming into my house and stealing stuff, or being out somewhere and then guys just jump on you or whatever. You don't have to worry about that. And I like that. You know. Yeah, I mean, this is the other thing. I was under the impression. Oh, I don't know, Bo. I don't know if you heard me say, but the mall is not closing. So one of the people there at the grocery told me the mall's not closing. They're not going to completely close. So the grocery will still be there. It'll be easy. And that's the other thing. I'm like, I know where everything is that I want. I can go and get it very easily. It's a piece of cake. My wife goes down to the market. It's very easy for her. If I wanted to go to the market, I could go there and get stuff. And, all that convenience, it's like, then you got to relearn everything. And I'm not a spring chicken. But then the other thing is, like I said, it's close to my parents. There are some benefits to being there. And, I don't know that it's a nicer place and the people are nicer or anything. I don't know about that. But I know that my buddy who used to live here, well, he stayed here for a while and he's lived all over the world. And now he's got a place in Ecuador. He has said, it's just like Thailand except the Spanish version, but you've got to you have a lot. There's a lot more that the government will give you for just because you have decided to become an expat living in the country. You can get your permanent residency, and you can actually get citizenship. But permanent residency is much easier. Let's see, a lot of aspects to make it reality to work to change the country. Yeah, although as you have mentioned, they do enforce it to make it good. Hard to beat Thailand for ease of living. Good food, secure. It's a good home base. Exactly. You mentioned about visiting Portugal. Just prepare yourself for tourist rush and a lot of North Americans here. It has changed just in a matter since I moved. 2018 seems like a gold rush in a way. Well, we're gonna be there. I think 6 days, and if we have time, I'll get out of Lisbon. We'll get out of Lisbon and go somewhere. Go down towards the beach. I don't know exactly, but whatever. I'm easy. I'm easy, man. When I'm traveling, it's no big deal. I have to take that mindset. Thank you to whoever just bought me some coffee. I appreciate that. Choke D. You just don't know how hot it is right now, though. I think the air conditioning company was supposed to come and fix our air conditioner, make it. They gotta clean it and whatever, and then it gets colder again. But they haven't come yet. I don't know. My wife said they ignored the message the other day because they get so busy during this time that even here they don't have enough. There's not enough manpower and not enough companies to take care of everything. Oh, well, thank you, Chris. Thanks. I do have one of the things I'm going to do tomorrow, besides go to the gym, is work on a video at the gym because there are these gyms are all over Bangkok, and I just think it's important. Something hit me. I think it's important that if you're going to be here long term, you try to stay healthy wherever you are, but here especially because anything can happen. You don't know what's going to happen here, and if you're not in good health and something happens, then you're screwed. You have no safety net. So I think that's important, and just not only for that reason, but of course because if you're healthier, you probably live longer, and hopefully you hold it together longer, and plus I enjoy it. So, but we had this workout this morning. I didn't know what to expect because I don't go in those little classes. I don't take those classes where you're bouncing all around doing aerobics. I never do that. But I just went in today because of the yoga. Then it wasn't yoga. It was all ab work. So I was like, all right, I can use this stuff. But it was tough. You mentioned that you'll have a great time the whole journey through. Stream when you travel. Well, I'm going to try to stream when I travel. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna try. Depends on the quality of the internet. It should be good enough. Um, yeah, I mean, I know in the States I'll be able to. I know in Amsterdam it should be possible, although I don't know how much time I have. Same with Ireland. I just don't want to be buying SIMs, and I can't get an eSIM for my phone because my phone is an 8 Plus, and I'm not going to go buy a phone just to have an eSIM. Um, but whenever I end up needing a new phone or getting a new phone, then I will probably get an eSIM so that I can just use it everywhere. But you know, whatever. I'll make sure if it's something's going on. That's part of the whole reason for going to all these destinations. So you know, sucks that I've had no aircon for over 3 hours. Yeah, I've been there, man. I've been there. That does suck. The lights have gone out here before. They went out one night. They don't go out all the time. You know, it's not a regular occurrence like it used to. I don't know if it still is in the Philippines, but it used to be. Um, Brownouts. But one night it went out here, and it was like we had no air, couldn't use the fan, so I opened all the doors, and we didn't get electricity for like 8 hours, man, and it was in the middle of the hot season, and so we were all dying. We were just dying here. It was so hot. You know, you'd think they would wise up and make houses where the heat could escape easily, but they don't. Doesn't, or either that or it doesn't seem to work. You know. So, oh, you got the vegetarian festival, which I'm not into that. I don't. I'm not into vegetarian food or vegan food, or I'm just not into that, man. I do like the meat. If you go on my Instagram right now and you go in Instagram stories, you'll see some of the stuff that I eat. And today I had this. It was a cheap piece of sirloin. It was a sirloin, and it was like 155 baht or something, which is pretty cheap, you know. It's like $5, but it was a big, thick piece of meat, and it was really good. Cooked up really nicely. Somebody was asking the other day about solar panels, and there's an article in the CASHAPP English that says the trend of solar panels on the roof needs government to cut the red tape. And that's what I heard of, is that it's rather expensive to get set up, but also there's a lot of red tape in order to set things up and to do it the way that it needs to be done. Many families and businesses adopt solar panels on the roof as an alternative source of electricity to reduce their electricity bill, which rises sharply in the summer. What I want to know is Puadon Suntawngwipat, president of the Thai Photovoltaic Industries Association, said the trend of rooftop solar panels has increased sharply. The market is also expected to be 2 to 3 times larger in 2023 than 1 year ago. In 2 to 3 years, the public two to 3 years ago, the public had little interest in solar as the what? The FT? Now I'm going to feel stupid because I don't know what that means. As the FT was in the negative, which made the electricity bill low and slowed down the return on investment in solar. However, as the government adjusts the electricity purchase price from 1 baht in 2019 2021 to the current price of 2.2 baht per unit for the next 10 years, people's interest is increasing. So that means that your electricity went up, it more than doubled if you're living in Thailand. Several utility poles came down this afternoon. Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. That sucks um, when you don't have power and it's really hot and you need it. Uh, that really sucks. So sorry to hear that, but you know it'll get better, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Oh, thank you, INFP with Tom. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Wow. All right. I'm wondering how many people would prefer I streamed at night. Because actually, I'm thinking I may stream tomorrow night. And then, I'm still gonna. I want to try out the Rumble. And, to be completely honest, most of the time I don't have to say things that YouTube might consider controversial, or I don't have to always swear or anything like that. But, sometimes it's like you do. You're just talking about a subject, and just because you're talking about that subject, they can censor you, they can demonetize you, they can do all kinds of things. And I don't think that that's right, and that's why if you go over to Rumble, that's my backup. It's it's rumble.com/an American in Bangkok. And also, if you want, you can go over to my website, which is anamericaninbangkok.com, and there's merch available. And most of the time, I update it daily. I say most of the time because not always. It depends on how many things I got going for the day, but I try to. But let's get back to the solar panel thing here. The public solar project still has some obstacles, so the total number of participants is only 20% of the total quota. He explained that the Metropolitan Electricity Authority is working with the Provincial Electricity Authority to allow each participant to generate 5 megawatts of electricity per site, but the current quota is only 1 megawatt. The project is accepting applications, blah blah. Oh, this is a bunch of goobly gook. Thailand is located above the equator. Okay. As the sun moves towards the south, a house with roofs that slope towards the south will receive the best sunlight, while roofs that slope towards the north will receive less sunlight. Roofs that slope west or east receive only half the day's sunlight. These factors result in the investor reaching the breaking point more slowly, from 4 years to 5 to 6 years. However, if you calculate the longevity of solar panels, which is 25 years, they are still profitable. I have a hard time believing that if we really wanted, we couldn't cut back on um, our energy usage. And I mean, okay, let's just say that everybody started remembering to turn out the lights. Uh, well, this affects people actually. This particular subject affects people because if using solar panels is really profitable, and it's something that can be done easily and quickly and without a lot of red tape, most importantly, then it is very important to other people, because there's a lot of people who would like to use solar. But right now, I think in many, not just Thailand, but many countries, they've made it hard, a little bit difficult to do everything, which is too bad. But if you figure that 3 years ago the price was 1 baht, now it's 2.2, so it's more than doubled, which means our electric bill that was 4,500 baht last year might be 9,000 baht this year, or 3 years ago might be 9,000 this year. It's funny when you talk about these sensitive subjects, PC topics, but like you say, who cares about politics and stuff? Well, I'm going to say something and some people might not like it. And that is, if you look at all the politicians around the world and you gather them all you have is a big pile of shit. Because in the end, they they do not feel beholden to you. And so that in itself means their motives are less than pure. So they basically care about themselves and that's it. And, what kind of government is that? It's about time I used to watch you. This is about the time I used to watch you when I was still in the U.S. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Hey, Carlos. Carlos, how you doing? Is the project done now? I'm sorry I haven't put the photos up yet, but man, I just have been, I haven't had time. But I will put them up. Good morning, good afternoon. In fact, today I was talking to somebody about um, politics, and it's so out of hand. So it's gotten so crazy and so out of hand um, that most people don't even believe it. They look at it and they just go, and unless it's on their doorstep, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? It's not in my town, but it is apparently, as I was told, it is leaving the big city and spreading out into the smaller areas, the less populated areas, and so it's spreading. And I'll tell you what, I think in some ways, if you want to talk about it here, some of what's going on in the States has gone on here. If you think about it, the value given by certain women, we're talking about the ones that work in the bars, now, because they learned during COVID that they can go online, they know there's so many guys out there. I don't even have to meet these guys and I can hook up with them. I can hook up with them online, milk them along, and so their value in their head is extremely high until, everything starts falling apart with their body. And I hear this about this kind of stuff going on in the U.S., except in many cases, and it happens here as well, but I think more so in the States, where the girls are just like, okay, I'll do whatever I have to. I just want to make that money. And that means they'll do anything. They're sluts. I listen to your videos late after work, and it's Showtime. The recorded format works for me. And then when I get a chance, like today, I dive into a live stream and give you some support. Well, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad. Sometimes I wonder, why am I still doing this? Is this for me, or what's it for? Because it's supposed to be, for all of us, kinda. I mean, without me, there's no you. Without you, there's no me. Done for now until I get more cash. Story of my life. Seriously. Yeah, I'm done with everything I got to do for now until I get more cash. Consideration needs to be given to the electronics and battery life. Yeah, that's something, because all the solar panels that I have seen, they always have a large number of batteries, and anytime you're involving those, the higher the expense. That's the thing. I think they said that the battery on the CASHAPP boat canal taxi or whatever. I think they said that the battery for that one they need. I think they had, I don't know, a certain number of batteries. They were like $45,000 each. So obviously that gets a bit expensive, and something happens. then okay, that's 45 grand. Jim, I need to search for this on the map. Never heard of this. We're up in Isan. Oh, Chayapum. Come on, man, Chayapum. We're up in Isan, about 90 miles from Korea, so 90 minutes from Konkan. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the folks here in the community. Well, I mean, that's the idea. And then hopefully in the future they can manage and keep the place up, and because you really turned it around just from the photos that I saw. I mean, that was a huge difference. It went from an old dilapidated shack basically to you know a temple. I think that was the point, though. I've got let's see here. Nice gym. I visited time. I was a young man rushed. It's a young man very rushed after leaving Australia, living there on a work holiday visa. Oh. I think now the majority of people who are becoming expats here tend to be in the 50 and over range. And, there's a smattering of people under that age, but then when you get down towards like in the people in their 20s, they're either working somewhere or they're just coming through and I want to live in Thailand for 3 months or whatever it is, and they're doing things to stay here, whatever it is, whether it's rental property, they're working online, whatever it is. But I think the number of retirees has increased dramatically over the last, say, rather. Uh, when you move here early, you have to be careful because you're foregoing possible income in the country where you came from, and oh really? Okay, now it's back on. Okay, good to know. You're foregoing all the time in the future, and you're foregoing some things that you might not get here, and in many instances you come here and it's a dead end. You can only go so far. I mean, I guess you can only go so far in other countries as well, but what I mean is the simple fact that you're a foreigner, maybe you're not going to go as high as some others here, as in Thais. I have a small solar light in my yard. I had some solar stuff in the past, and I don't know what happened. It wasn't real expensive or anything, but it's no longer with us. And I have thought about now. There was a place out in Texas, and I don't remember how long ago this was. It might have been 10 years ago. It might have been even longer. I don't know. But there was some show on TV, and it went on a tour with this guy who owned this ranch. And what they did was they had everything solar, and there was a huge number of batteries, and I mean, it was a full-on ranch. They had cattle and chickens and pigs and everything else, and then they had a big house. And they were like, okay, so show us uh, how you do all this. And basically, the guy had a whole. I wouldn't even call it a garage or a shed. It was more like if you've ever seen Jay Leno's garage for his automobiles, for all his cars. It was huge. It was like an airplane hangar. And they had all these water tanks, one after another, after another, after another, and all the water had been captured from the rain. And so it would go in there, and then what they did was they had like one side was for the agriculture. One side was like recycled, and then they had another one where it was used for things like drinking water and that kind of thing, and it had to go through filters. It was really interesting. And then, in addition to that, and the solar, uh, just the way that they did everything was just, they had their house set up to where uh, they didn't, they rarely used air conditioning, and they had the house set up to where the hot air would be drawn out and all this stuff. And I mean, it was just incredible. But it was a massive. I mean, you're not talking about. It wasn't like 10 water tanks. It was like 100 water tanks. So that was pretty cool. I have not seen anything like that here. Investing for as much self-sustaining lifestyle is going to pay off at night, and where? That's the question. Where is always the question, because now, if you think about it, there's nowhere left, or there's very few places left. You know, uh, maybe in Africa there's lots of places left. Maybe in the outback in Australia there's lots of places left. Maybe in Alaska there's some places left. But there's a reason why these places don't have many people. And as much as the thought of living like in a place like Alaska, even though it's in America, uh, is intriguing because I've been there a couple of times. I've been to Alaska a couple of times, and I know what it's like. But that said, as nice as and romantic as the idea of saying, okay, well, I want to move here, the reality is different from what the illusion is. And the illusion is it's going to be this romantic thing. You move out there, you live off the land, and everything is easy. The truth is far different. I mean, it's very expensive. Everything's more expensive there. I mean, prohibitively expensive. Food is more expensive, clothes are more expensive, everything is more expensive there. Not to mention the weather. So, boom, there goes that place. Now, if you're looking at Thailand, you're going to look at places, I think, that are that have some kind of medical care in the vicinity. It's safe. Uh, it doesn't have to be in the middle of a city or something like that, but I would say the air needs to be clean. And if you start writing down your deal breakers, I think you'll find that there's a lot of places. I mean, if you're really honest with yourself and you don't get sentimental about it, there's a lot of places that will not cut the mustard here and elsewhere. And immediately, you lose out on about 75% of the whole world. And you're just like, nah, it's not going to happen. Switzerland, oh, well, yeah, that sounds really nice. Yeah, except it's really expensive. It's going to be cold most of the time, extremely cold, or a fair amount of the time. Then there's all the red tape from the government, and that's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. It ain't easy no matter where you go, and the thing is now it's getting harder and harder to find these places that, you go there and you get your foot, you go there and you're on the ground floor. It's a small little town, not that many people, not a lot of traffic, and then, another 10, 20 years that place is done. That's how it works. We're breeding like rabbits. I'd like to supplement some solar with a windmill. Yeah. Then I think about it and I think, is it really going to do that much good? Because how many people are going to do the same thing? So, yeah, okay, you help in your own little way, and I think that's admirable, and I think it probably is helpful. Uh, However, uh, in the when you look at the big picture, is it really going to help? I hope so, but I don't think so. Hello in Beijing. Hmm. Interesting. Anyway, we already talked about the festivals. What did I say? Oh, the Lopburi Monkey Banquet. Now, if you watched one of the streams the other day, Lopburi is one of the places that I said I would give a pass. I don't find these kind of monkeys, macaques, I don't find them to be the most interesting kind of monkey. It's not like you're going to go see, gorillas in the mist up in Uganda. That's not what you're going to see. It's not like you're going to see some orangutan hanging from trees in Borneo. No. You're going to see the tree rats of the monkey family. So that's why I would give that a pass. Then there's the Mekong Naga fireballs. Yeah, that's cool. Um, Chinese New Year. I've been through that a couple of times. That's pretty cool. They do it right in Chinatown here. Mother's Day and Father's Day. Well, I didn't know there was a festival for those. Candle Festival. What is the name of that? This is just a candle festival. Good evening, everybody. Or good morning, wherever you are. Yeah, so those are a few of the festivals. But let's see here. Let me see this about the solar panels. Yeah, they're always talking about the government promoting these solar projects, and what this organization wants is the government to give a rebate to citizens who install solar panels, as the public cannot get any benefit from installing solar panels, while the business sector can use installment for the tax rebates. So, of course, the businesses are getting all the benefits, and the Joe Schmo is not getting anything. See, this is just, if they want to generate more than 1 megawatt of electricity, they must obtain a separate permit from the Ministry of Industry. I want the problem to be solved. A plant consumes 10 megawatts of electricity but cannot produce more than 1 megawatt. Why don't we allow them to generate 10 megawatts but only for use within the plant, not for sale and not for generating more? Yeah, see, to me, this is a perfect example of the government getting in the way and shooting itself in the foot. Why not make it harder? Why don't we just make it more difficult? Let's make everything difficult. We won't make it easier, because then it might actually succeed. It's the typical government thinking. It's not only here. This is not a Thai thing. It's not specific to Thai culture. This is a red tape, political / government way of thinking. Hey, let's make things more difficult. Let's complicate it, not make it easier. And then nobody will do what they want to do. That's pretty much what's going on here. Electricity has been extremely reliable. The past few weeks have seen a few blackouts. Battery reserve could power aircon in these situations. Yeah, I mean, listen, Jim, I would say there haven't been more in the whole time that I've lived here. I would say there probably haven't been more than a dozen blackouts. Now, I'm not saying there haven't been instances where the power cut off and like 3 seconds later or 15 seconds later it went back on. I'm talking about where it happened for a couple of hours or an hour, or like I was talking about, like 8 hours. But it's pretty reliable here. I mean, say what you will, Thailand has it's gotten a lot more modern. It's not like it was 30 years ago, 50 years ago. You know, they're not a third world country, and they're a quite developed country. And if you look at their payment system, like I'm talking about with the QR code, the scans, the transfers, I mean, immediate bank transfers and this kind of stuff. I don't know. Can you do? I think you can do that in the United States if you're using like Zelle or something like that, where you can make a transfer almost immediately. But when it comes to that, when it comes to, I mean, even transportation for a country the size of Texas, and then they've got Bangkok, which is a pretty good sized city, but the infrastructure is continually improving, and they have the transportation network is so good. I mean, I think the United States should be kind of embarrassed. They should have a lot better, you know. So anyway, where are we at here? So the festivals, cyanide. I did say, for those who care, uh, Conan O'Brien tried an exotic scorpion snack, which was not his first time, as he tweeted that the Thai scorpion is so much better than the scorpion I get at the Glendale Galleria. Oh, he's making a funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't listen. He did his thing. Good for him, but he was not my favorite. I mean, I don't know who my favorite was. Who was the guy after Johnny Carson? Oh, Jay Leno. Jay Leno and Carson, yeah, I kind of got it. They were all right. They were pretty good. But like, and even Letterman was good in his own way. I liked him. But these new guys, Kimmel and what's the other guy? I don't even know who's on now, but I think Jimmy Kimmel was one of them, and there was somebody else. I don't remember who they are. I never liked any of the new guys, you know. Electricity here has been more reliable than it was in Las Vegas. Well, it's Vegas, baby. I mean, they're using a lot of juice up there in Vegas. Colbert, yeah, Stephen Colbert. Wasn't there the Daily Show with what's his name, Jon Stewart? I can't keep up with all these guys because they got one person on at one time, another person on at another time, and then before you know it, it's like wait, who's got the talk show? Oh, is it Oprah? Is it Phil Donahue? Is it Jenny? What's her name? What was that Jenny? What she was the one who the two guys were on, and one of them ended up offing each other. Well, what was that? Hey there, man. How you doing? Mr. Chun. What was that? Nick Papalapala or what was his name? Nick Paolo or something like that. I don't know if he was on TV. Um, I never really listen to one person all the time. I just can't do it. Can't listen to Joe Rogan all the time. Can't listen to Bill Burr all the time. Although I like Bill Burr because he basically is on his own. He's there, but he's alone most of the time. Aside from sometimes he's with his wife. You know. Nick DiPaolo, yeah, that's what it was. Steven sold out. I don't know if he sold out. I never even really watched him. I just see little clips of him here and there once in a while, and that's it. And quite frankly, I mean, they make it's typical. This was in the Patia News. They make a big deal because he's coming here, and I guess it's a big deal to some people, but he's a guy with a different job. I don't even know what he's doing now. No idea. But he is wearing a little elephant shirt, which is kind of cool. I'll give him credit for that. Oh, he's done a lot of traveling up here. He has a travel show, Conan Without Borders, which I do believe I've seen now. I've seen that he had to show. I just didn't remember it. It's not gonna happen, man. You know, I put people on here once in a while. Um, yeah, I put them on once in a while, and that's okay with me. I mean, I just had Tom on. He comes on once in a while. You know, he's pretty good for most stuff. Uh, had somebody else on a while ago. I had Jim on. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been now, but it was 6 months ago. Some I don't remember. You talking to me? My memory is not good. Electric bill 592, 273. Turn the heat off. Well, that's usually what happens in the summer. We turn the air on all the time, and then the bill is much higher, which sucks, you know. But you got to be prepared for that. And if you gotta, like my buddy had this apartment, and the first one he was like on the fourth floor, then the next one he was on like the 11th floor. And what he would do is he had a couple of fans. He had an overhead fan and he had a fan on the floor. And then he would turn those on, and uh, at night he would turn the air conditioner on, and and you know then he'd be nice and cool. And if he got cold in the middle of the night, he'd turn it off, and by morning he'd open up all the windows and everything, and he was fine. There was a breeze coming through, so he ended up having a pretty low bill. But most places that are townhouses or houses, they're going to have a bill if it's really hot, like it is now. Will you be doing any more photography like street photo when you travel next month? Maybe, perhaps. Um, I don't particularly like doing photography when I'm doing video stuff, or I'm streaming, because anytime you go streaming, it's an opportunity to shoot video. So if I go into a coffee shop, I mean, I have probably 10 coffee shops videos that I could put together, or I could just put like a compilation together of coffee shops. But um, every time I stream from a coffee shop, with the exception of maybe like Black Canyon or Starbucks or something, I always go in and record, you know, intro, establishing shot where you see the name of the place, going through the door, taking a look around, then the drink comes, and then, you know, more of their whatever little sweets and cakes they're selling, and then, you know, if I can, and you get a barista or something, you know, waving at you. I try to do that every time I go to one of those places. And I couldn't take photos like with a big camera, and nor do I want to. I've really grown tired of lugging around a bunch of gear, and I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, really, uh, 20, 25 years, constantly with, you know, a tripod or two, a tripod and a monopod, or, you know, two cameras, three cameras, two cameras and a video camera. I mean, you know, after a while, it's like enough already. So, of course, I'll get photos, but I'm just not going to be doing it in the same, you know, I'm not going to just go, okay, well, I'm going to start, I'm going to go out and take a bunch of photos, because I could be doing something else, you know. I mean, you know, now it's more like, you know, I'm a streamer, and make videos a little bit once in a while, but um, it's not to say I won't in the future. I may, but let's see here. I got a little issue with my with this. There we go. Okay, now I can see again. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I'm always up for taking photos, but there's only so many things I can do. That's the point. And I learned that before when I used to do it all the time. I would walk around and I'd have two cameras, and I'd have a video camera, and I'd go, okay, I want to bring a film camera, and I have a film camera and two digital cameras and a little video camera, and then I'd have a mini tripod and a big tripod, batteries, cables. It's just like, man, I don't want to. I just don't like doing that anymore. It's not. It doesn't have the same. uh, it's just a big pain in the ass, is what it is. The juice is not worth the squeeze most of the time. So let's see here. We got anything else? Any other news? Anything interesting? They're saying this female serial killer, the cyanide killer, is probably not going to get the death penalty because she's mentally ill. If she truly is, then okay, I kind of understand, but doesn't matter if I understand or not. Here's another one. Thai motorbike rider killed in a crash with a minivan full of tourists in Pattaya. Thai man crashed his motorbike into a white Toyota minivan carrying foreign tourists. Incident happened on Teprasit Road, the entrance of Soi Teprasit 11 in Pattaya, near a road barrier amid ongoing construction work. Wow. Nobody in the van was injured. But it says that rescuers arrived at the scene around 5:45 a.m., but were unable to save the man who had already lost a considerable amount of blood. His black and red Yamaha was found severely damaged with its parts scattered all over the street. He must have really hit him, going at a good clip. Authorities also discovered the minivan with a crumpled bumper and its bumper and its uninjured driver, 41-year-old Krung Chai. In an interview, said blah, blah, blah. He spotted the victim approaching the site at a high speed on his motorbike. In a bid to avoid the barrier, the man swerved but failed to return to his lane, crashing head-on into the minivan. No one was injured, although the impact startled the tourists. And now funeral arrangements are going to be made. There you go. That's what happens if you get a little nutso. I like that house for sale tour. How is the house hunting going? See any houses you liked? How do I answer that? Yes and no. You know, it's like I don't think we found anything perfect or anything that fit the bill, and that house didn't fit the bill. You write anything more? Yes. You mentioned your third book. Yes, I am, but I won't release something if I don't think if it's good. That's pretty much it. And I haven't reached the standard where I go, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to let it go. But I do want to finish it at some point, so it will get done. I can only do so many things in a day, and I do my best to do them all. And like I said, and I found this out today, but when I say, if I go to the gym, in the past I would go to the gym And I would come home, take a shower, and I'd be ready to go, and I'd go do whatever I want to go do. Now I come home and do that, and uh, I fall asleep, take a nap for the next 2 hours. So, what is it about? I can't tell you that. You're still thinking about moving near the beach in Thailand. Well, when I get back from the trip, we will check it out and see. I already checked out some places, and it doesn't look good about the pollution. It doesn't look good anywhere. That's the problem. The whole country is suffering from pollution. And it's bad. I mean, every day it's above 150 where we live, which is it's not just serious for people who are have health issues and who are sensitive. It's not healthy for anybody. So, you know. Bangkok Days. I thought I read that, but I don't. I don't. If I started reading some of it, or you told me some of the story, maybe I'd remember if I read it or not. It sounds familiar. Um, I think it's older. It's an older book. It's been around for a while, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Most of the Bangkok books, in the beginning, I used to read them all the time. All the Christopher Moore, because he was, pretty hot back then. Dean, what was it? Dean Barrett? Who was the kicking? Or Colin Pipprell? Um, yeah, I don't know. Haven't looked at it for a while. Yeah, yeah. Oh, now you're back in the desert. Well, at least you made it back safely. That's good. Man, I cannot stress just, um, you go outside in the morning, and if you go out at, say, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes it's actually nice and cool. You know, you're on a motorcycle, you got the window open in a cab or something like that, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. It's nice and cool. You got a little breeze coming through. By 8, 9 o'clock, it's just brutal, and that's the best word I can use to describe it. It's just brutal. And right now, I don't know what the temperature is right now, but it is 9:38 at night. You would think that um, it would start getting a little bit cooler, but it's not. You're talking about Paul Theroux. He's written a lot of good books. I like the one. What is it called? Where is it? What the hell was the name of that book? Maybe it's over here. Yeah. Uh, Dark Star Safari. Deep South. Which one was it? Ah, let's see here. It's one of my favorite books. Huh. Ah, The Lower River. That's the name of it. The Lower River. I got two more of his books. I have uh, Deep South and Dark Star Safari. Yes, we still have it. We just went there. I don't know, maybe a year ago. Just went there. Kind of like here. Only Thailand has humidity. Thailand actually reminds me of growing up in Alabama and living in. Well, yeah, I grew up in Florida, and it is like. What's going on here? It is like Florida because of the humidity, you know. Lower River, yeah, great story. I really like that book. That's one of my favorite ones. I used to read a lot more, but I haven't had much time to read lately. You know, because you have to sit still and you can't do three things at once, and I can't read and be doing other things. And most of the time, I'm either dead tired or doing other things. So it's hard for me to sit still for a long time and sit there and go through a book. But I do it every once in a while. It depends. It depends on what I'm what I'm doing at the time. If I'm on a trip somewhere, then yeah, I might read, especially train trip or long plane trip. Anyway, um, so I may stream tomorrow night. I don't know because I got some things to do tomorrow, and it's like I have three things to do in the morning, and I have to pick one. And I do think streaming at night is a good thing. Um, you know, uh, it's different. It gives other people a chance to come in and chat. So, I'm not opposed to it. Yeah, and reading is discipline, and you gotta comprehend everything, and then, I mean, I think I've read just about every single one of these books. I didn't finish the One Device, and there's another one I know I didn't finish. The Chinese RX and American Pain. I didn't finish those, but all the other ones I've finished. And sometimes I just want to get rid of them because I'm like, you know what? If they're not like fantastic, they're not a fantastic book. Like, I can get a Hemingway paperback any day of the week, and it'll cost you, you know, $5, maybe $10 at the most. But if you really want Hemingway, why don't you get, like to me, the way I look at it is, well, maybe I should sell the books and then go and get like hardback copies of those books, which are not so easy to find. Well, just remember, I'm getting older. I'm getting older. I'm still traveling, but um, I try not to spread myself out too thin now because I had a tendency to do that before. You know. So anyway, like I said, maybe tomorrow I will stream in the evening. Um, if you don't see me stream tomorrow morning, I'll be streaming in the evening. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. I always stream on the last day of the month. There's a reason for that. So think about it. It's the last day of the month. You know, it's good luck for me. So I think that's gonna wrap it up here. What is it right now? Yeah, 9:45 here. It's about time for me to uh, chill out for the rest of the evening. Time just flies by. Really, it does for us and for me. Flies by. Still about 35 Celsius here. Yeah, it's very, very, very hot. It's too damn hot. But if it was cooler, then you'd be like, oh, it's a little bit too cool. And then once it got warm again, you go, it's too warm. Anyway, glad you enjoyed the stream. Thanks to everybody. I appreciate it. Maybe tomorrow I'll come up with a little more concrete subject. We'll see. But until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke di leo jerken mai. Wait, I'm tired. Choke di leo jerken mai. Choke di leo jerken mai. Mr. Chun Motorsport, thanks for coming in, and thanks to everybody else for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.